What if the hardest moment of your life isn't breaking you, but preparing you?
Life doesn't usually break us all at once. It does it slowly, quietly, in ways we don't notice at first. One loss here, one disappointment there. One night where you lie awake staring at the ceiling, wondering how everything became so heavy. And when it finally feels like too much, when you say to yourself, "I can't take this anymore," that's often the moment you misunderstand what's really happening. You think life is trying to destroy you, but in reality, it's shaping you. It's preparing you for a future you can't see yet, a future that would completely crush the version of you that hasn't been tested. There was a time when a man believed that a good life meant a smooth life. He worked hard, stayed honest, followed the rules, and expected that if he did everything right, life would reward him fairly. That belief felt comforting, almost like a promise. But one by one, that promise began to fall apart. First, he lost his job. Not because he was lazy, not because he failed, but because the company decided to cut costs. Years of loyalty disappeared in a single meeting. He told himself it was temporary, that something better would come. But weeks passed, then months. Savings shrank, confidence faded, friends stopped calling as often. Silence became loud. During that time, he learned something painful. When life is easy, people admire you. When life is hard, people measure you. Some judge quietly, others openly. He felt ashamed asking for help, ashamed admitting fear. Every rejection letter felt like another crack in his chest. At night, he questioned his worth. He asked himself if he was ever truly good enough, or if he had just been lucky before. Those questions hurt more than the bills, more than the uncertainty. They attacked his identity. What he didn't realize was that those questions were necessary, because before you can become strong, you must first discover where you are weak. Comfort hides weakness. Pain exposes it. And exposure, as brutal as it feels, is the first step toward growth. As time went on, life pushed harder. A relationship he depended on ended. The person who once promised to stand by him decided they couldn't handle the struggle. That goodbye felt colder than anything he had known. It wasn't just the loss of love, it was the loss of safety, of someone to lean on when everything else was falling apart. He felt abandoned, not just by a person, but by life itself. He began to think that maybe he was cursed, that maybe some people are meant to win and others are meant to endure. That thought settled deep inside him, heavy and dangerous. It whispered lies, telling him to stop trying, to accept defeat quietly. And for a moment he listened. He stopped dreaming. He stopped expecting anything good. He focused only on surviving the day. But survival has a strange power. When you're stripped of expectations, you start noticing truths you once ignored. He noticed that he was still waking up every morning, still breathing, still capable of choosing his next step, even if it was small. He noticed that pain hadn't killed him, disappointment hadn't erased him, loneliness hadn't made him disappear. Something inside him, though bruised and exhausted, was still standing. That realization didn't come with joy or excitement. It came with calm, a quiet understanding that said, if I've made it through this, maybe I'm stronger than I think. And that thought, small as it was, changed everything. He stopped waiting for life to return to what it was. Instead, he started building something new from where he stood. He took work that didn't match his past title, his past pride, or his past dreams. It was humbling. Some days it hurt his ego more than his body. But each day he learned discipline. He learned patience. He learned how to keep going even when the reward wasn't immediate. Life continued testing him. Unexpected expenses, moments of doubt, days where old fears resurfaced. But something had changed. The pain didn't feel as sharp. The setbacks didn't knock him down the way they used to. He had been broken before, and he had survived. That memory became armor. Years earlier, success would have made him careless. He would have trusted too easily, assumed too much, prepared too little. But now, after being broken, he moved differently. He planned carefully. He listened more. He valued consistency over quick wins. He understood that real strength isn't loud or dramatic. It's quiet, steady, and unshakable. Eventually, opportunities came, not suddenly, not magically, but gradually. A connection here, a chance there. Doors that once seemed locked began to open, not because life had become kinder, but because he had become stronger. He was ready now, ready to handle responsibility without arrogance, ready to face pressure without panic, ready to lose again without losing himself. Looking back, he understood something that once would have made him angry. If life had given him success earlier, it would have destroyed him later. The pressure would have crushed him. The failures would have broken him completely. The losses would have left him bitter and empty. Life broke him first so that he wouldn't break when the stakes were higher. That's the part most people don't understand. We beg life to be gentle, but gentleness doesn't build resilience. We ask for comfort, but comfort doesn't prepare us for storms. We want happiness without hardship, success without struggle, confidence without doubt. But life doesn't work that way. It gives us what we need, not what we ask for. Every painful chapter carries a lesson. Every disappointment trains your mind. Every moment of loneliness teaches you how to stand alone without falling apart. When life breaks you, it removes illusions. It shows you who stays, what matters, and what you're truly capable of surviving. Think about it. The things that hurt you the most are often the things that teach you the deepest truths. The rejection that forced you to improve, the loss that made you appreciate time, the failure that taught you humility, the heartbreak that taught you self-respect. None of those lessons feel good while they're happening. They feel cruel, unfair, pointless. But later, they become the foundation of your strength. There will be moments when you feel tired of being strong, when you wish someone else could carry the weight for a while, when you wonder why life seems harder for you than for others. In those moments, remember this: life doesn't waste pain. It doesn't challenge empty people. It pushes those who have the potential to grow into something greater. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The pressure you feel is shaping your character. The delays are sharpening your patience. The setbacks are building your endurance. One day, you'll face a situation that would have destroyed the old you, and you'll handle it calmly, confidently, without breaking. In that moment, you'll understand why you had to go through everything you did. Until then, keep going, even when it feels pointless, even when progress is invisible, even when motivation is gone, especially then, because the version of you that emerges from this season will be wiser, stronger, and unshakable. Life may break you first, but it's only so you don't break when it matters most.